This is an instructional video about fraction word problems, and your essential question is how do keywords help me solve word problems? And that's an explaining type question. So the first thing we want to do is, how do I mark the text? In math, to mark the text, first thing you do is you number the lines. Circle keywords and numbers. And then your final step is to box in the question. And those are the steps that we're going to use as we're working on these fraction these fraction problems. Now, the next piece is, what are keywords? What are keywords that tell me the math operation? Okay, so what I like to do is kind of divide up into 4 sections. This is for addition, subtraction, we have multiplication, and then division. Now, I'm only going to give you a few words. There are plenty more that you can find online, but these are the ones that you tend to find most often. So total, sum, combined, together or all together, things like that. For subtraction, difference, change, if you see the word like minus, those are words that might tell you that the operation is subtraction. Multiplication, obviously, if you see the word times, words such as twice or double. If I could spell double correctly. Remember that just means multiply by 2. Like triple means times 3, so on and so forth. And then division, usually if you see something in groups, divide, making like pieces or parts. Oh gosh, I think it's EI, isn't it? Oh, I don't know, pieces. I'll just do it that way, and then I'm sorry if I spelled it wrong. I just can't remember I before E except after C, I think, right? Anyway, so those are just different keywords that you can use. Now, I'm going to make up a quick example here of a word problem, so just give me a moment as I write it down. Okay, so quick problem. Sam has 2 1/3 yards of fabric. He uses 2/3 yards for a bag. How much fabric is left? So to mark the text, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go through, I'm going to circle keywords or key numbers. I see 1, 2, 1/3. Okay, left is another piece that will help me because that's kind of like a change or difference type. And I'm going to box in my question. So my final problem is going to be this, 2 1/3 minus 3/8. Now, the difference is 6th graders have access to calculators, and so I'm not going to go over how do we find the common denominator, changing from a mixed number to an improper fraction. I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I want to show you is how to utilize the tool. So I'm going to kind of navigate through the internet right now just so you can see how to look for that. So I just opened up new tab. I am on Google right now, and I'm just going to type in Alexis Wolf, John Glenn. because I do have the calculator actually on my website. So there I am right there. And then what you see off to the side is you're going to see Online Scientific Calculator, which is this link right here. So I'm going to click on that link, and that brings me to an MCA website. That doesn't mean you're starting a test or anything. So it says start your test. You're not starting a test. You're just simply accessing the online calculator, which is this icon right there. Okay, so remember that our math problem was 2 1/3 minus 3/8. So there are two buttons that we can use on the scientific calculator that helps us decide fractions. And that's this button right here, and then this one right here. For right now, we're just going to use this one. Okay, now notice how you see in white it says n over d, which looks like a fraction, and then up in the top I have the giant U and then n over d. So my first one was 2 1/3, so I need the mixed number. And see how it pops up like that? So I had to press second and then that button. That's why it's in green and second is in greens, because then I can access that. It's just like when you need to get a capital letter, or say you need to like get the dollar sign, you hit shift and then 4 on the keyboard. It's the same idea here. This is kind of like you need to access the other piece of information. So I have 2, you need to arrow over, 1, and then down, third. Now I'm done with my mixed number, so I'm going to click to the right. And it was 2 1/3 minus 3/8. So I don't have a mixed number for my second one, so all I need to do is just click that button and I have my fraction. 3, and then down, 8ths. There's my problem. I click enter, and it gives it to me. Now notice how right now it's written as an improper fraction, which for the time being, that's acceptable. But there is a feature on this calculator that we can actually take that improper fraction and it'll change it into a mixed number for us. And that's this button right here. So what you can do is you can press second, and then this button. And right now what this is saying is currently I have a fraction and I want to change it to a mixed number. And I hit that, and there's my mixed number. So the answer to my question would be he has 123/24 yards of fabric left over. So that's how we can use the calculator. And I honestly encourage students to utilize this tool. I mean, we're part of a society now where the tool is what needs to do some of the math operations. And that's the least worries when it comes to how we handle problem solving. The biggest piece to this entire